Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us for our webinar on shopping responsibly. This particular webinar is hosted by Mount Zion Baptist Church of Philadelphia, sponsored by Enon Tabernacle Baptist Church, also located in Philadelphia, the National Foundation for Credit Counseling, NFCC, Faith-Based Alliance, Freddie Mac, and Diversified Resource Network. We are delighted to have you here tonight and sharing with us this information as we go through how should we prepare ourselves in order to shop responsibly. Our sponsors for this event is Pastor Cedric Jones Jr., Mr. Herman Palmer, Reverend Kevin H. Murphy, Ms. Latanya Gonzalez, and myself, Cora Fulmore. Many consumers feel that there's money falling from the sky. Well, there's not only no money falling from the sky, but nor is there a money tree planted in any of our backyards. Holidays can be a money distraction. And the National Retail Federation has done some research on this, and it shows that consumers will increase their spending on online and other non-store sales between 10 and 12%. If you look at the graph below, you will see from 2002 to 2022, the online and non-store sales have steadily increased over the years. There's a couple of years where there's been a slight decline in 2008 and 2009, but for the most part, there's been a steady increase in the online shopping. We'll also see by this particular report that comes from the Bureau of Economic Analysis, it shows that the personal savings rate has also declined, where in July of 2022, this personal savings rate was 3.2, and in October, it shows a decline to 2.3. And consumers, I just want to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, this is alarming, and it's something that we need to be aware of, and it's something that we need to address. Well, why is this happening? You would ask. There are many factors that can influence our shopping habits. Number one, our culture, the popularity of a product. If the product that we're wanting to buy is extremely popular, like a particular car or a particular piece of jewelry, or even a trip around the world, it can influence our shopping and thus have an impact on our savings. We also say that socially, getting buyers, marketers understand, getting buyers to believe that this product, whatever that product may be, will influence their reputation with their friends. And, often we're trying to impress people that we really don't like, and they don't like you. Personal, lifestyle, personalities, and also economic class may also influence our behavior, because we feel that this item that we purchase will make us appear to be better and make it appear that we've got money in the bank, but not always. Lastly, psychological, the nature of significant childhood or adult relationship experiences that we've had from a child to an adult that could motivate the way that we spend our money. It's because of what we learned over the years. All of these things can have an influence on how we spend our money. Take a look at this particular picture. This is the art of persuasion. And advertisers really have done a great job with this particular commercial. If you take a look at this, the advertisers use persuasive techniques in order to appeal to our emotion, apply peer pressure, and social norms. Sometimes it influences the way that we spend our money. So my question for you is, can you take a look at this picture and just think about it for a minute? Think about when you look at this particular picture, what do you think of? What comes to your mind first? Just think about it for just a minute. What do you think of when you look at this particular picture? I know what I think of. You think about it and let us know what you think of. You know, the psychology of holidays shopping, it's really important that we understand that it is a game, that marketers work on our human flaws in order to nudge us into buying products. It starts with the beautiful decorations that you see in the malls. Not only the decoration, but also the sound of music. It stimulates us to want to take the next step. And the next step is to walk into a store and make the purchase. It's all about the psychological behavior that plays on they stimulate us to go ahead and make that purchase. Sometimes they get us at our lowest point, ego depletion. Again, it's about the psychology of holiday shopping, regardless of what the holiday may be. It could be Christmas, it could be Valentine's Day, or even Easter. And you know what? Those are not the only holidays. Labor Day has become an extremely large holiday for buying cars, for buying new furniture, for getting things done around your house. All of those things are being marketed to us in order for us to part our money from our pocket into someone else's pocket. The theory is that our willpower is connected to a limited reserve of mental energy. And once we've run out of energy, we are more likely to spend more money. And so it's really important that we understand the game that's being played and understand that we can work around it. Now, one of the things that has happened with the uncertainty of COVID-19, it has caused consumers to want to experience the world. 2023 will be all about not holding back. Living through COVID has raised an awareness that life is not certain and tomorrow is not promised to anyone. So many individuals, consumers want to experience the world, but you have to control your own spending. So controlling your spending leads to some positive things. It reduces your stress level. It makes it more manageable. Your mood tends to be a little bit more positive. So being able to manage and control your spending leads to a lot of positive behaviors that can save you money and also thus cause you to save more money in the long run. So think about this. Now, we know that Christmas is a great holiday, right? And we know that a lot of people think about Christmas and they think about the whole giving process. But, you know, this has even changed over the years. When you look at the 17th century, holiday gifts for everybody were handcrafted gifts. We don't do that anymore. It could have been a wax candle or figurines or even a painting that you would give family and friends. In the 19th century, the reconstruction of the holiday was the introduction of commercialization of the Winter Holiday Festival. And that's the part that kind of gets me a little upset of the overall commercialization of a lot of the holidays that cause us to spend so much money. The Industrial Revolution in the United States took place 1820 through 1870. In 1858, the first department store in America, and you know who that was, Macy's, was founded. Americans began buying manufactured gifts largely from stores rather than handcrafted gift items. Okay, we've been programmed that buying items from a store is better than making those items ourselves, starting in the 1820s to 1870. In the 20th century, holiday spending boomed and consumer spending became one of the main economic drivers in the US over the holiday season, to the point that the industry has been able to gauge the percentage of money that we will spend during a particular time frame. And they can almost bet on it that we will. In 1903, the Consumer League in New York launched a nationwide marketing campaign to cut down on the long hours retail staffers worked over the holiday season, thus causing us to start shopping sooner and spending more money over the long haul. So all of these changes have had an impact on our spending. And it's not about spending so much. What we're saying is don't break the bank just to give during the holidays. Shop responsibly. Make a budget and stick to it. Save over the next few weeks, place the cash in envelopes designated by names, and then purchase gifts using the cash that you have available. Be clear about the reason behind the giving. Make family decisions to give to charity instead of buying things no one really needs or no one really wants. Shop early as you can afford items. Choose ahead of time not to use credit cards, and then put the promise in writing. It's really important, folks. Again, we don't want you to break the bank. If you plan for your holiday shopping, it'll be better off for you in the long run. Handmade gifts reflects planning, efforts, creativity, and also love. And I know a lot of people think that this may be the old way of doing things, but it can save you a lot of money. Value thoughtfulness over cost. So let's talk then about money stories and holiday shopping, and how money stories can have an impact on your holiday shopping. We all have money scripts and money stories or family norms. There are certain things that we do around all holidays. Maybe Easter, we always have an Easter egg hunt for the little kiddies. During the Thanksgiving time frame, we always cook a big meal at grandma's house or at your house. So there are scripts, there are stories that play over and over in our minds as to how we should handle our monies, how we shop during the holidays. And it's really important that we seek wisdom. And that's why we're doing this presentation. And I'm so delighted that you have chosen to view the video, because there's a lot of great information in here. Our stories are shaped by our personal financial journey or life experience. We all have life experience, and those are the things that really shape our journey. Life challenges can also shape our story. We call that a financial trauma. It can impact the way that we view and manage our money. And this is all about a conversation about the journey. Understand what your story is telling you. How has it shaped the way you handle your personal finances around the holidays? And also, what have been the challenges that you may have experienced or that you've seen from others that have also had an impact on your financial journey, and how you handle your finances during the holidays. It is all about a conversation and also about your personal journey. So here are some Christmas stories, but there are Thanksgiving stories, there's Valentine's Day stories, there are all sorts of stories that we have bought into that really have an impact on how we spend our money during the holidays. We have these scripts or stories or family norms, and we write our story every single day. You know, but the good thing about your money story, be it a financial money story or a holiday shopping money story, you can rewrite that. You can rewrite your money story. So know that that's a possibility. So here's a story. The more you spend, the more love you show to your family. I've heard that one before, and it's usually coming from somebody in the family that's trying to get you to spend. Here's another one. It takes the joy out of giving if you're pinching pennies. Well, I don't know if that's true, but a lot of people think so. They spend and they overspend and they don't think about their budget. Here's a real good one, and I like this particular clip art. It's the season for giving lavishly, not for being a Scrooge. Do you know people that spend more than they can afford? And then January 1st hit and they regret the fact that they bought all of the toys. They regret the fact once they get the statement, their statement, they're thinking, oh no, what have I done to myself? And here's one that I've heard repeatedly. And you know what? I think as a kid, I may have said this to my parents. I need to give my child more than I got when I was a child. I always reminded them of that. And I always said, you definitely want to give to me, right? Because you didn't have, you want to make sure I have. It doesn't always work, but we know a lot of parents use this story as a reason why they spend money during the holidays that they don't have. And they find themselves in a situation where their money script or their money story has undermined their abilities to be able to save. Here are some examples. More money will make things better. I don't deserve money. Again, a money script that we hear a lot from individuals who feel that they may have outgrown their families. There will never be enough money. There will always be enough money. Money is unimportant to me, and I'm not going to let money rule me. Money will give me meaning. It's not nice or necessary to talk about money. These are all money scripts that we've heard in the past that can have an impact on the way that we handle our finances during the holidays. And it's not about just Christmas. It's not just about Valentine's Day, and it's not just about Easter. It's about all holidays. So as we move through any major spending season, think about your money story and the impact that it's having on you and your ability to be able to save money during the holidays. Here are some things to be mindful of. Be mindful of the buy now, pay later loans. A lot of companies have made it quite easy for individuals to buy now and pay later. Sometimes there are programs which allows you to buy something today and they'll give you 12 months before the first payment is due. Sounds like a winner, right? Often before the 12 months is over, sometimes we forget that we have to start making a payment. But what happens at that point, all of the interest that we should have paid during that time frame that we were waiting has added up. And you tend to pay more in the long run for the item because you've not made any payments than making those payments immediately. A lot of times individuals are charged excessive fees because they've not paid it off within that 1-year time frame or that 4-month time frame. So beware of the buy now, pay later loans. Make sure you understand the terms and conditions of it. But now you can recover from holiday shopping. Believe me that you can recover. It is possible. There are some things that you need to do, and we're going to tell you about those things. First of all, pull a copy of your credit report. Do that today. If you're listening to this video, and I believe you are, please go ahead and pull a copy of your credit report. We'll show you in just a minute where you can get a free copy of your credit report from. And we strongly encourage that you do that. The other thing that we want you to do, once you get your credit report, review it thoroughly. Make sure that the personal information section is accurate, that the name on the credit report is your name, that there's no extra letters, no extra digits in your social, and it's the right person. My name is Barbara Smith for example. But do you know how many Barbara Smiths there are in the country? Or even Cora Fulmores, that's my real name. But there's a bunch. And the thing is, you need to make sure that your information reflects your name, your social, your address. If it's partial social or a full social, not all credit reports are showing the full Social Security number, but make sure that the last 4 digits is correct. And any previous addresses that it may show, that it's your previous address. If not, it could be some erroneous information on your credit report due to a bad address that's showing on your account. And then you want to look at all of the trade line information. Who are they saying you owe? And how have you paid these items? Have you been delinquent at some point, or have you never been delinquent? Make sure you take a look at the credit report to see if there's ever been any delinquencies reported on you. And if so, or any inaccurate information, you want to dispute that information off your report. That's important. Now, understanding the credit scoring model and how that works. It's important that you know that this system is not mysterious. Your payment history represents 35% of your score. It's critical that you pay on time. Make your payments on time or ahead of time. Your capacity, this is the percentage of credit limit to availability. If you're charging up your limit, and you're at 40, 50, 60, 70% of your limit, that can have a dramatic impact on your score. So you want to be very careful about how much you charge and how often you charge. Paying your debt down is important. The length of credit history. How long have you had a credit presence? If you're taking on a lot of new debt in a very short time frame, that's not going to help your credit score. So be strategic in when you're going to take on new debt, and make sure that you're not taking on too much in a short time frame. And then the credit mix, having a good mixture of installment loans versus revolving loans, credit card debt versus a fixed payment debt with a bank or a credit union. And that's an installment loan. A secured loan is also good. And lastly, the accumulation of debt. If you have a lot of new debt that's not seasoned, it's less than 12 months on your credit report, that's going to have a major impact on your credit score. So don't take on a lot of debt, new debt, within a very short time frame. Be strategic in your approach. Understand the credit scoring model, because if there's been any challenge to your credit report, you can improve that overall credit standing in the long run. So set priorities. And you know what happens is your priorities will definitely change depending upon your age. If you're Monique at the age of 17 in college, Monique she's married to a Johnny and now they have a baby, priorities are going to be different. Or you are Monique and a Johnny ready for retirement. At any stage in your life, your priorities may change. So be willing to to set priorities. Write your priorities down. That's really important. Know what are the things that you're trying to achieve from a financial standpoint at any point in your life. You know, Monique and a Johnny, and at retirement age, their needs will be different. So set the priorities on what you need at retirement age. It may be an investment account. It may be long-term care. It may be travel. Whatever your priorities are at whatever stage in your life, that's up to you. But you have to set priorities and you must write them down in order to be able to maintain control of your finances. As you go through the holiday season, any holiday season, we would be remiss in not talking about how to protect yourself from scams. Online shopping fraud is growing. There's all sorts of things that are happening online. And as practitioners and individuals that provide this service to individuals across the country, it's important that you be aware of some of the scams and how to protect yourself. One of the biggest scams is the mail order scams. There's shysters that are aware that many individuals during the Christmas holidays will probably be buying a lot of things through the online platforms that are out there, Amazon and many of the others. And they expect your packages just like you expect to get packages. And I know that you've probably seen on the news where a lot of these scammers are coming in. They see the Amazon truck in the neighborhood and they follow the truck until they deliver the item to the individual's door, and they wait a while to see if you're going to pick it up. But there's also another type of scam, and it's a mail scam that's done online. Not only are there people looking for your packages in your neighborhood, but there are individuals that are sending out phishing emails, and they're scams, nothing but scams. And they're hoping that you are one that is expecting a package, and they pretend that they're from FedEx or UPS or another reliable company. And it looks so official that your delivery, there's a problem with your delivery, and you need to put in your information in order for you to file a report to get your package. Folks, the main reason we do this is to help you be aware. Holidays is the best time to scam someone because we're so preoccupied with the holiday and doing so many different things. So protect yourself, be aware, know that scammers are out there, and know that they're willing to get us. They're not only in our neighborhood, but they're also on our computers. They're also sending emails to us, and try to delete or take on some type of security system that you can use on your computer in order to block these phishing schemes that come through the internet. Some other shopping scams: protect your personal information. It's easy to hit the buy button and start typing in your information. Make sure that the URL at the top of the screen is accurate, that it's a legitimate company before you put in your information. Gift cards are a convenient gift for the holidays, but they also open the door for several scams. Some gift cards are not even activated, or some gift cards have already been used and they have been placed back on the turn wheel, and you pick it up. So it's so important that you make sure that you understand that even gift cards there could be scams for this as well. Not all deals are legitimate. If it sounds too good to be true, I know you've heard this before, it is. It is too good to be true. So there's 10 tips to protecting yourself. Only shop on secured websites with a good reputation. Do not shop using public Wi-Fi. Be suspicious of deals that are too good to be true. Avoid sellers who use pressure tactics to get you to buy. Be wary of social media ads that may take you to an unfamiliar shopping site. Use a credit card to purchase instead of debit cards, prepaid cards, or wire transfer. Set up bank account alerts and notification to monitor your account. I use my account monitoring system for any charge, or anytime my balance get to $1,000, I get an email. And that's important to me because I can get out or pull myself out of debt for $1,000. But when it becomes 10,000 or 20,000, and we've heard of this, where individuals have been taken advantage of and on their credit cards, and shysters have actually charged up the full credit limit. And so you really want to be very careful of that. Set your bank account alerts to monitor your account. Never give out sensitive information like your account number or social security number. And if something, and I hate to say it again, but if something sounds too good to be true, It is. It is too good to be true. You know, one of the things that we've seen during all of the holidays is identity theft is on the increase. It happens to many of us, and it is it's a type of fraud such as online hacking, credit card or debit card skimming, or even stealing your mail. Identity theft can happen to any of us. So one of the precautions that you can do, instead of just balling up the envelope and the papers in that, shred it, just shred it, and that can protect you somewhat. Make sure you check your mailbox, know when the mailman or the postman is coming, and make sure you get your mail out of your mailbox as quickly as you can. If not, put a lock on it, because there are people who are perusing neighborhoods and they're opening up the mailboxes that are not locked. So, you know, just take a look at this particular report from the FTC, and it's looking at the amount of scams based on age group. And the prevalent age group that's being scammed is 20 to 49-year-olds. So just take a look at the second, third, and fourth column at those age groups and look at the amount of money that's being lost. Here's one that's a really big one, credit card fraud, from 65,000 to 108,000 individuals have reported some type of credit card fraud. But take a look at loans and lease fraud. This is also surprisingly large, 41,000 to 65,000, depending upon the age group. And this is a scam that happens a lot, particularly in our day and times today. There are a lot of individuals that are looking for cheaper ways to rent. And many individuals are looking at renting a house and bringing in someone else to help pay the rent. And what we found in certain markets across the country, that there are scammers that have gone in and they've changed the lock, and they have advertised either on Facebook or other methods of advertising, letting people think that they are the owners of the home, and they're not. So be very, very careful before you plop down your first and last month's rent and a deposit in order to be able to rent a home that doesn't even belong to the individual that's renting the property. So identity theft is really something that happens, but there's ways to address it. And these are the ways. Step one, call the company where the fraud occurred. Make sure you call them, call the fraud department, let them know, ask them to close out the account or put a freeze on the account. It's really important. Change your password and PIN is critical. Step two, place a fraud alert on the accounts that are in question. You want to go to all three bureaus, Experian, TransUnion, and also Equifax. Important. Make sure you file a police report. Also complete an affidavit of forgery. There's a copy of an affidavit of forgery here on this particular slide. You can do a Google search in order to download a copy of that, or you can go to identitytheft.gov and also find a copy of an affidavit of forgery as well. Thirdly, we want you to report ID theft to the FTC. Now, why are you doing all of these steps? In order to protect you. I think it's really important that you do that based on the information that's entered into identitytheft.gov. It's going to create a report that you can recover and share with your creditors. It's really important that you do that, and also have the police report and the affidavit of forgery. Fighting identity theft is hard, but if you got all the documentation together, it's an easy task that anyone can accomplish. So know your rights is also important. If you are a victim of identity theft, you have the right to report it. You have the right to place a 90-day initial fraud alert on the credit report. That's your right. And then if it persists, if it's something that has happened where it's very difficult to catch the individual that's doing this, then you want to place a 7-year extended fraud alert on your credit report. You can get a free copy of your credit report if you are a victim of identity theft, and you can receive multiple copies of the credit report. And stop the debt collectors from calling you. Let them know. If you have to file a complaint, as I mentioned earlier, with Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, make sure you do that in order to protect yourself. Now, here's a short video. If you don't mind, I'd like to play this video. It's an identity theft that happened to Sandy Bigelow. It's a little comical. It's only about 2 minutes, and just listen up. Here you go.
Jeez Louise.
No, this is totally my fault. Why don't you got your license on you? Why don't we swap information? We can get the insurance companies involved.
I guess that's what it comes to. I hate to tell you, but that's a custom paint job. Thank you. You know, if it's okay with you, I'm okay, and I'm cool with just doing cash.
Yeah, cash would be a lot easier, wouldn't it? Sandy Bigelow Patterson.
Yeah.
Bigelow's such a rare name.
Well, it's a family name, you know. It's goes back to the Mayflower.
Is that right?
Yeah, Jeremiah Bigelow. You maybe have heard of him, pretty prominent bear hunter.
Sounds brave.
Kind of a big deal.
Here's my license with my name right there. Sandy Bigelow Patterson. Gotcha.
Jeez Louise.
Comical, right? But it happens. Now, protect yourself. Any of us can be a victim of identity theft. I'm going to switch gears a little bit and talk about child identity theft. This has grown over the years. It's very prevalent all across the country. There are individuals who are using their children's Social Security number in order to obtain cell phones, electricity or utility services, telephone, in-home telephone service. There are so many credit cards, all of those things. It happens. And there are some things that you can do to protect yourself. But if you are a victim, and this happened when you were a child, and the debt doesn't belong to you, you do some of the same things that I've identified in some of the previous slides. Again, you file a police report, you report it to FTC, Federal Trade Commission, you make sure you put a fraud alert on your credit report. You dispute those items that are showing on the credit report if they don't belong to you. There's no need for you to be making those payments, but you got to act upon it because this is real and it happens all the time. Protect yourself from phishing emails, because that happens also. Make sure that the link that you're about to click on is something that is legitimate. Make sure you check out the URL before you click on any additional links. Please don't put your personal information out there on the web unless you know the company that you're putting your information on. Now, and there are imposter companies out there too that looks like they are a reliable company that we all know, but they're not. So make sure you check out the URL at the top of the email before you move forward in putting your information. Another thing that happens during the holidays that get a lot of individuals is romance scams. Romance scams are very prevalent. They're common across the country, and they're on the increase during holidays, particularly holidays like Valentine's, holidays like Christmas, Mother's Day. All of those things can happen during those holidays. And so you really want to understand some of the tactics that these shysters are using when they contact individuals. First of all, they're going to try to win their trust before they start asking for things. And often it's done online. It's an online process for the most part. Often you've not really even seen the real person. They've got photos up, but the photos in most cases don't belong to the individual there that you're communicating with. It may be someone that's out of the country. What they normally start doing is asking you to invest in their opportunities that have been awarded them either an opportunity to start a business or an opportunity to buy cougar reins, whatever it is that is an opportunity that they want to share. They request money for emergencies. Their mother could be dying, or there could be a child that's medically ill that needs to go to the hospital, and they prey on the individual's emotion to try and get money out of them. They offer you gifts initially, but you don't, I mean, they're not anything that's very lavish. They start sending very intimate messages. Often the individuals that you're speaking with speak little or no English. They live in another country. The profile seems too good to be true. It contains very few photos, and they ask for money. And they start making excuses when you say, we need to meet, we need to see each other, I'd love to see you. And they start making excuse after excuse after excuse as to why they can't meet. So know that this happens. There are some real stories that I'd like to share of people who have been scammed. And they've been scammed during the holidays, and just how it worked out for them. Let's take a look at this particular one. It's an unusual payment scam. This particular young lady and her friend was really looking for tickets to go to a comedy festival. And the tickets were pretty expensive. And so they found someone who had 2 tickets, and they wanted those 2 tickets, and he would allow them to purchase the tickets for $300, but they had to pay using gift cards because it was safe. And they asked to use PayPal. No, they wanted to use gift cards. Okay. They went out and they purchased 3 gift cards for $100. By the time they paid the $300, the gift cards were redeemed quickly. The post that they found on Facebook was gone, and they lost their money. So they refused, the scammers refused to give them any money back, and that was it. So how do you protect yourself from this type of scam? Buy tickets from an authorized retailer. Make sure you know who you're dealing with. Be cautious about purchasing tickets online. Make sure you call if you can get someone. That's the best way to handle it. Here's another scam that happened. And this one is near and dear to me because this young lady reminds me of myself because we're both seniors. This particular lady received a call from the IRS saying that she owed $4,000 in delinquent tax debt. They said, if you don't pay, something will happen. They started threatening her of what would happen. The threats have been from going to jail, being sent back to their country, just all sorts of things that could really unnerve a senior citizen. They demanded that she purchase gift cards. She purchased $3,000 in Amazon gift cards, $500 in Google Play cards, and $500 in Red Lobster gift cards. Well, I don't know why she did the Red Lobster, but she got the $4,000 that she needed. Was this real? No. Let me just say, the IRS will not make those requests. The IRS, to go to jail, there has to be a trial. Okay. Before there, I mean, the IRS will garnish your wages, and depending upon any type of funding or money that you may have in the bank, they may even levy on some of that. But if you get a call like this, hang up, just hang up. If you get an email like this, just delete the email. The IRS will never, ever request gift cards. Never. So I've got some great resources for you. This has been exciting for me. I hope it's been exciting for you too. We've got all the information. You can review this video as often as you'd like. You just, click on the link, go back to YouTube, and you can review the video as often as you'd like to get the nuggets of information. Now, great resources. Let me start out with the NFCC. The NFCC is a great organization. If you find yourself in a situation with a lot of consumer debt and you need someone to help manage that debt and negotiate on your behalf with your creditors, the NFCC is the way to go. NFCC is a great partner of this particular webinar series, and they provide excellent information. Their members provide free to low-cost services to you, and check them out if you need help. Freddie Mac has a great website for individuals who are wanting to learn more about credit. It's called Credit Smart Essentials. Here's the link for Credit Smart Essentials. It's for consumers, and it provides great information. If you're looking to buy a home, there's another great website that Freddie Mac has created to help potential home buyers that are looking to purchase. It's called Home Buyer U, Freddie Mac Home Buyer U. The link is right here. You can click on it. Everything is hyperlinked in the PowerPoint in this particular presentation. And so we encourage you, if you're looking to buy, to go to Home Buyer U because it provides great information. To get your free credit report, the government website that we recommend is annualcreditreport.com. That's www.annualcreditreport.com. There you can get a copy of your credit report, and until December of 2023, you can request a weekly copy of your credit report, particularly if you've been a victim of identity theft or if you feel that there's been any scams. And you can even get it more frequently than that if there are some other serious things going on. Don't forget the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. If you have any complaints, if you're working with a creditor and they don't want to work with you, or you can't get to the bureau, they're not responding to your letters, you can always file a consumer complaint with the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. This is the link for filing that particular complaint. There's some other great information that I'd like to share. The Fannie Mae fictitious employment scam alert. There's a lot of individuals that are saying, I can get you a job, you can work directly from home, and often it requires that you pay something up front. This is a great site that provides some great information regarding fictitious employment scams. And then the child identity theft scam is there. I can't thank you enough. This has been a great opportunity to share this information. I do hope that you reach out to us. Diversified Resource Network, here's our link at the bottom of this particular slide, but you got all of our partners that you can go to directly and solicit their help as well. Again, I want to thank you for being a part of this presentation. I wish you luck, and if we can help you by any means, please feel free to reach out to us at any time. Thank you again, and have a great day. Bye now.